Hi, y'all. This is Carrie D. Welcome to the Coffee with Carrie Homeschool Podcast. Join me every Thursday for some much-needed encouragement, coffee, and conversation. It's my prayer that this podcast will help you homeschool one step at a time, one day at a time, and one cup of coffee at a time. Hey, if you're blessed each week by our podcast, make sure you check out my book, Just Breathe and Take a Sip of Coffee, Homeschool in Step with God. Then share our podcast with some of your homeschooling friends who might need a little encouragement this week. You can also find me at my website, coffeewithcarriehomeschoolpodcast. So stick around, pour yourself a cup of coffee, put your feet up, and take a little coffee break with me. Let's get started. Hey Arizona, I'm coming to you. I'm going to be in the Prescott Quad City area Saturday, September 24th. If you live in the Quad City area or you and your friends are in driving distance, then join me for an all-day seminar, Just Breathe and Simplify Your Homeschooling. Now, during the morning session, I'm going to be sharing 8 simple strategies that you can apply immediately to help you remove the chaos from your life and to simplify your home and your homeschooling while still focusing on what's truly important and having fun. The afternoon session is going to focus on how to use a less is more curriculum. I'm going to be sharing how to teach almost every subject, including math, in a simple and inexpensive way that educates the whole child using a Christ-centered, literature-based, interest-led, family-style approach. Then I always end with an open Q&A session. So if you would like more information or you would like to register, go to my website, coffeewithcarrie.org. If you would like for me to visit your area and host a Just Breathe and Simplify Your Homeschooling seminar, shoot me an email at coffeewithcarrie.org and let's get it organized. Welcome back to school, or should I say, welcome to another year of home education. My mission in life is to help you focus on what's really important while homeschooling. So my aim this week is to share ways that you can get more done by doing less this coming school year. Sounds like a great plan, right? Do less and still get more done. What a concept. I like to call it the less is more curriculum. This week's episode is also a little preview of my upcoming in-person all-day Just Breathe and Simplify Your Homeschooling seminars. Now, during COVID, I moved all of my seminars online, and I called them mini courses instead. I knew I couldn't do an all-day seminar online. Yikes, how boring that would be. So I broke up my more popular all-day seminars into 1 to 2 hour mini courses, and I hosted them online. But now that we're in a post-COVID, non-restrictive world again, I'm bringing my in-person all-day homeschool seminars back, and I'm going on the road. My Just Breathe and Simplify Your Homeschool seminar is broken into 3 sessions: the morning session, afternoon session, and the mom favorite Q&A session. Now, the morning session, I like to say, is full of encouragement. My aim during the first part of the day is to help moms regain their sanity, reclaim their schedules, and reignite their love for homeschooling. I share 8 simple strategies that moms can apply almost immediately to remove the chaos from their lives and to simplify their homes and homeschooling while still focusing on what's truly important and having some fun. Now, if you have read my book, Just Breathe, or you've heard me speak at my annual Mom Weekend or at homeschooling conventions, you're familiar with these 8 simple strategies. Now, the afternoon session is full of practical applications. I share how to teach each subject in a simple and inexpensive way that educates the whole child using a Christ-centered, literature-based, interest-led, family-style approach. This week's Coffee with Carrie episode is a little preview or an overview of the Just Breathe and Simplify Your Homeschool afternoon session. I'm hoping this Coffee with Carrie episode helps you adopt the less is more mentality and to incorporate the less is more curriculum into your homeschooling this year. If you want even more, then I dive deeper into each subject at my all-day in-person Just Breathe seminar. If you would like to attend one, make sure you visit my website, coffeewithcarrie.org, for more information, or you can help me host one in your area. You can homeschool simply, inexpensively, and enjoyably. Don't believe me? Well, then keep listening. Now, the first pillar of the Less is More curriculum is to use a literature-based approach to teaching the humanities and to even teach some parts of mathematics. Now, when I say literature-based approach, I'm not saying you need to go out and purchase one of those expensive boxed literature-based curriculums. Now, yes, The Good and the Beautiful, Sunlight, and Beautiful Feet are awesome. And Peaceful Press by Jennifer Pepito is awesome and even more affordable than the others. But you can use an old-fashioned literature-based approach simply, inexpensively, and enjoyably by just using your library card. Hey, but be careful when you visit your local library these days. Check out my blog article at coffeewithcarrie.org on why you should be building your own home library. Okay, so borrowing books from the library and building your own home library is truly the best and easiest way to implement the Less is More curriculum and to use a literature-based approach to learning. I'll talk a little bit more about this in a minute. Now, the second pillar of the Less is More curriculum is to integrate as much as you can. For example, in your history studies, also incorporate artists, composers, mathematicians, scientists, authors, and inventors that lived during that time. During your read aloud or after your read aloud time, talk about the vocabulary or the characters or current events that relate or lessons learned and the story's settings. Make connections during your read aloud time. Again, I will elaborate more on this in a little bit in the podcast. Now, the third pillar of this Less is More curriculum is to teach family style. Yes, I know, I've done quite a few episodes on this very topic, so make sure you listen to those past podcasts. But in a nutshell, learn as much as you can as a family. Try not to teach different history and science topics to different kids at different grade levels. Learn the same art, music, history, science, and Bible topics together. Usually writing, reading, and or math are the subjects that children, tend to do on their own level, but you can even do a lot of writing instruction together and even some math instruction family style. I mean, if you have a few children close in age or close in skill level, you can even teach the same math concepts or the same writing skills to 2 or 3 kids at the same time. And the fourth and most important pillar of the Less is More curriculum is to keep it Christ-centered. Keep God at the center of all you do. I mean, history is His story, right? Science is learning about God's creation. There's nothing new under the sun, so all literature and stories are an opportunity to learn about human nature, God's truths, and how to live a godly life. Art and music are ways God allows us to enter into the creative process with Him, and they're awesome opportunities to appreciate beauty and to bring beauty into our homes. Writing is just learning to communicate in such a way that we can share God's word and Jesus' life-saving gospel. I mean, even math is a lesson on how orderly our God is. So if you start your day with family devotions or time in God's word, and you talk about God, His love, and His Son, Jesus Christ, throughout the day, then your kids are learning the most important lessons. The Less is More curriculum actually uses Jesus' teaching methods as the model. Jesus taught the most important lessons in the simplest of ways. He shared His heart. He asked questions. He expounded on God's word. He taught through example. He used the world around Him to teach important life lessons, and He nurtured, loved, and discipled His students. If we follow Jesus' lead and do these simple things, then our home education will be far, far better than any accredited school out there. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty and look at these 4 pillars. Let's talk about how to use a literature-based and family-style approach simply, inexpensively, and enjoyably. Let's start with the Bible.